So it's Wednesday. It's day 3 of quarantine in California. Oh my God, where do I start? So California is a really population dense state, and it has a lot of cases of coronavirus so far. So earlier this week, the Bay Area instituted shelter in place, which is where you have to stay inside of your home except for essential duties, which is basically like grocery shopping. And LA and Orange County, which is where I live in Southern California, didn't go quite as far, but like almost, like pretty much. We are heavily discouraged from leaving our house for non-essential tasks. We have to stay 6 feet apart from people at all times, so we basically like can't socialize, even if it's just with a couple of people. Grocery stores are pretty bare. It's an adjustment. These are wild times to be alive. Like, I want to say I was not one of the first people to take this seriously. And I'm saying this because I feel like there are still some people out there that are like, well, this is like really overhyped. Like, it seems a little draconian, don't you think? Because I want to be honest that I kind of like was one of those people at first. Like, I didn't totally write it off, but like kind of. And I've come to take it really seriously. And that was a big thing for me because at the start of March, I was kind of like already freaking out, not about coronavirus, because I never really like talked about this online. But I've been working for the past year a part-time work remote marketing job, which was great. It was really flexible. It really worked with my lifestyle, but I just kind of wanted to keep that 20 hours a week separate from all my other work. And I found that I was getting laid off at the end of February. So I was like really stressing about going back to my artistic work full time, back to gigging basically. And so I'd been lining up all this work, all these photo shoots and belly dance shows. And I had this whole plan for how I was gonna like kind of Phoenix style emerge from my own ashes of this layoff, and it looked like I was rocking it for a sec, but then things kind of started to get really weird really fast. I was supposed to have this tour to the Bay Area, and I was supposed to dance at the first part of it in Clockwork Alchemy, which is a steampunk convention by San Francisco. And that was the first thing that got canceled, and that really sucked because I'd been working on like new costumes for that, and I was gonna like film it and put it on YouTube, and I was like super excited. And then I started to notice that people weren't really, like, people were starting to get kind of reluctant to make plans to shoot with me. So I had to cancel the San Francisco part of that trip because I could just see I wasn't gonna be able to cover my travel expenses, let alone make a profit. And then I was supposed to go to Santa Cruz, Monterey area for a few more days after that. And like, same thing, people were starting to get really reluctant. And like, I'm from that area, like that's where I started modeling. So, usually I have a lot of work there. So I was like, oh, this is like unfortunate. Like I might have to cancel this tour, which sucks because like I'm now out of my like work from home job. And if I can't book enough gigs, then I essentially like have no income for March. But I was like, okay, well, I can still hustle in like Southern California if the Bay Area is getting like really intense. And I had this photo shoot on Saturday. It was a group shoot. And that was like really weird. Like that was this past weekend. Because where I was, like the grocery stores were still fully stocked, but I was starting to see pictures of grocery stores that were emptying out. And like one of the other girls at the shoot, is a belly dance shoot, so she was a dancer, was like, yeah, people are freaking out in West LA. Like I tried to go to Trader Joe's and there was like no food in the store. All the shelves were empty. And I was like, oh, well, around here it seems good if you want to go shopping while you're here. And like, the shoot was fine. Like, I'm glad I got to do it because I got some really good pictures. But like, we were mandated to stay 6 feet apart from each other, and like, I had this one photographer, like, I was posing with like my sword for dancing, and he tried to reach in and like manually position my sword, and I had to be like, hey, like, no, don't touch. Like, you shouldn't touch a model during a shoot no matter what. That's just basic etiquette. But like, that was the first moment where I was like, hey, like, you could get your grubby coronavirus all over my sword, which could get on my face when I need to like touch my fake eyelash or whatever. So I was supposed to have another shoot on Tuesday, yesterday, and I told a couple of the photographers, it was another group shoot, I said like, oh, I'll see you Tuesday. And they were like, yeah, see you there. And that shoot got canceled. I never would have expected over the span of 3 days that would have become my last shoot on Saturday. Like, I was so shocked by it. And the belly dance restaurants, like the restaurants that people belly dance at, are all shut down now. So all the belly dancers are out of work. Like, I danced my last belly dance show. Didn't know it was going to be my last one. I said, see you next week. I'm not going to see them this week, which is insane. My yoga class got canceled. Like, the gym is shut down. My yoga class got canceled because the gym got shut down where I teach at, and that was insane. Like, now not only am I out of that income from teaching my classes, but I also don't have a place to work out anymore, which is a huge lifestyle adjustment. It all just kind of cascaded over the course of a few days. And now like all of California is basically on lockdown, which has been a really big adjustment. Like, I suddenly, all my income just vanished. It just evaporated. And I said when I got laid off, and I quote, I am like a hydra. If you cut off one of my sources of income, I will grow 2 more. I said that. And like, I just never would have expected that society would have shut down to the extent where I would be out of work, except for my online work, like BentBox or whatever. That's like all I have left now, which is insane. And I am freaking out about it. And also I see that like so many people are in the exact same position as me. Like, I have no idea how I'm going to get through this. I have no idea how we are going to get through this, but I also kind of like see that we're all in this together right now, which is oddly comforting. But it's just so weird. It's like, I always kind of felt like if the world was ending, which it's not, we'll be fine. But like, I always thought if the world was ending, I would be like at a party or at a bar. Like, I would be with people. I would be around my friends. And now it kind of feels like the world is ending, but there are no bars. Like, oh my God, like the bars, all I have is a bottle of tequila in my freezer. Like, what a time to be alive. But anyway, it's a really big adjustment to not being around people. But also I see that this is kind of like a good scenario for artists in a way. Like, there's sort of an opportunity in it. Like, this is the time to learn that new skill that you didn't have time for. This is the time to finish that project that you didn't have time for. This is the time to start a Twitch channel or whatever you've been meaning to do. Like, do it now. And like, I think that's sort of a silver lining that is keeping me going. But, you know, like, I was not one of the early people to take this seriously in California. Like, last weekend, like, I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to go within 6 feet of people, but like, I was still like going out to restaurants. I was still walking around like in public places. Like, I went to a coffee shop. Like, I did not shut my life down until I felt like I had to. And I, like, the reasons behind it I thought were good. Like, you know, I remember like SARS, I remember swine flu. Like, I took them seriously, but they never affected my life. And like, I took this seriously and I never expected it to affect my life this way. And now it is. And I've become kind of like a coronavirus news junkie. And I think that, like, even though I'm kind of like a skeptical person by nature, like, skeptical people out there, like, this is the moment to take it seriously. Like, I am convinced, like, you need to do the research yourself and see, like, there's a ton of information that's very approachable, very clear about why this is so serious. And like, if you're not familiar with the concept of flattening the curve, look it up. We all need to stay home and be distancing ourselves right now. You know, I thought that, you know, I heard like, oh, it's gonna get warmer and that's gonna kill the virus. We honestly don't know that because it's a new version of this virus. We don't know how how temperature changes will affect it. I thought because I'm young and healthy, it's not going to affect me. Well, guess what? Like, if you're young and healthy, you can still be a carrier for it. You may not have symptoms, but you can be going around living your life and infecting all these people without even realizing it. So we have this responsibility, even if we're not worried for ourselves, which you should be, even if we're not worried for ourselves, we have to be conscientious to our neighbors, to our loved ones. We all have this part in this responsibility. And I think this is kind of weird for Americans because we are a very individualist society. Like, I myself am very independent. I want to travel wherever, whenever. I want to, like, go out to the coffee shop and the bar and whatever. And like, we just can't do that right now. We have to kind of switch our mindset to this collectivism, because we really are all in this together and we all have our part to play. So please, like, take care of others by taking care of yourself. Please stay home. Please do not take any unnecessary risks. But I think that together is our answer. I think that collectivism is our strength right now. Even if we are alone in our homes, we get through this by inspiring each other online, by making videos, by playing songs, by dancing, by giving each other words of encouragement. And you know, this is a time when we're watching history unfold before our eyes. So I think our stories are really important right now, and I plan to continue to tell my story through this time. I want to make more videos. I want to live stream more. And I'd encourage you to do the same, and also check up on your friends, check up on your neighbors. This is a really scary time. We don't know what's going to happen or where we're going, but we will get through this together. Hopefully this will be a distant memory and then like soon. But until then, like, let's hang in there together. Please stay calm, take deep breaths. I love you guys, and I will be seeing you very soon. Bye.